If you're interested in learning about Simcoe County and Muskoka in Ontario, Canada, you're in the right place. Or Connie Campbell, you're in the right place. This is Want to Move There, Season 3, The Remix with my co-host. Oh, two over. Let's move you right beside me for this. Here's my co-host, Krista, and move our guest back to the middle. I'm DerekBicksler, realtor and digital marketer here in Harrisburg and Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Krista is over in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And Connie, like I said, is up in Canada. That's who we're going to learn about all about her area. Connie, we always start the show off with something that has nothing to do with Muskoka or with Connie Campbell. Just a fun little thing to initiate you into the show. And we're going to pick a number between 1 and 30, and then I'm going to read you a random fun and wacky question, if I can find my link in the time you take to tell me the number. So between 1 and 30.
7.
Ooh, I like
7. Lucky number. Not deep and thoughtful questions. We don't want that one. That's too heavy for this.
Not to start off.
Yeah. Number 7. If you were a ghost, who or where would you haunt? Ooh. I like that.
Ooh, a ghost.
It's kind of hard.
My children.
Yeah, your children in their houses then would be the place probably. It's kind of tough. It sounds like an interesting question, but I can't think of anything either. Aren't you supposed to haunt the place where you die usually? You're like trapped there or something?
Oh, yeah.
I think that's when you're not gone to your final space, but you can come back and be a good ghost.
You could be a guardian angel.
Yeah.
True.
There you go. All right. How many kids do you have, Connie? We'll learn more about you, but I have a reason for asking right now.
3.
3.
I do.
All right.
I have 3 adult sons.
Okay. I won't make you choose which one. I was going to say, you have to choose which one you would be a guardian angel for. You can't be all 3. Which one would you choose? But I won't make you choose. So, all right. If anybody out there has an answer to that question, write it in the chat. And actually, I meant to start doing that this episode, Krista. Ooh. Like, if anybody's watching, put in the comments where you're watching from. Say hello, ask questions, blah, 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 whatever, if you're watching live with us. So, anyway.
I like that. They can answer the question, too.
Yeah. And Krista, you can take it away with the bio portion of the show and tell everybody a little bit about Connie, and we'll get to know her.
Absolutely. So Miss Connie's favorite color is red. We've had a lot of blue. I think she might be our favorite red. Our first red, not our favorite red, and our favorite red. Her favorite food is salmon, which I also love salmon very much. Her favorite music is country. And she has been busy watching the NHL playoffs, which now we are in the finals with 1 to 2 games left. She was reading Let Them and Story Brand, which I finished Story Brand, but I am still in Let Them. So I would love to hear your thoughts on that. And like Derek said, there are 3 boys and there are 7 grandchildren. She prefers cats to dogs and grew up in Ontario.
This doesn't look like a grandma is my first thought there. When as soon as you said that, I was like, people changed. Like teachers are hot now. And like teachers were like 100 years old and disgusting. And everything was different. And no dads look like me. They were all, well, there are still some dads that like, I look at people my age and I'm like, do I look like that? Like they went full dad on it, just gave up on everything kind of. So I feel like people have changed and everybody's younger, but you definitely do not strike me as a grandma. So that's cool. But how old, how many, what are the kids? How old are they?
My sons are in their 30s and my grandkids are 2, 5, 7, 9, 11. Make sure I don't forget any. 13 and 17.
Wow.
So they range from almost 3 to 17. And I just had a milestone birthday this year. So I turned 60.
Are all the kids still there in Ontario?
Yeah. Yes, they are. When I moved north an hour, I'm a little further from them. But my 2 boys are close by an hour and a half, and my third one is about 3 hours away.
Nice.
They're pretty close.
Is that like Toronto, south of you? We'll get into the location here in a second, but would that be how far Toronto is? Hour or so,
Toronto's
or more?
about 2 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2 hours south.
Okay.
And then if you took a right heading west, like towards Dania in London, my one son's over there.
Oh, okay.
But we have the Fountain of Youth up here. So you should come up here and drink from the Fountain of Youth, Derek.
The actual one, or they're supposed to be the actual one or whatever? Or are there multiple in lots of different places?
It must be the Muskoka water that allows me to stay looking so young.
There you go.
It's probably the fresh air, the fresh water, all of it.
Yeah, the whole place the more I read, the more it looks like a place that I would be for sure. And billionaires, and we'll talk about that. Like rich people like to be there too. Do we have more on the bio, or are we ready to go into the
Well, yes. So obviously we know who you're probably cheering for in the playoffs, right?
Yes. Although Florida's a good team too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Florida in hockey?
Yes.
Yeah. The Panthers are
I know it's inside, but still it doesn't kind of compute like Hawaiian hockey team or what was that movie? The Jamaican bobsled team?
I was just gonna say that.
Cool,
Remember the
Cool
Jamaican
Springs,
bobsled team?
Yeah.
Cool Runnings.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was it. Not Cool Springs.
Nice. All right, let's see where this place is. And the only reason I have any idea where any of these places are because I do this and look them up before this. But we got a map here, and you can see that it's above Toronto, which is above kind of Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh, yeah, directly above Pittsburgh for the most part. And as Connie said, about 2 hours north of Toronto, which is down there. And it looks like the land of lakes pretty much. So tell us a little bit about kind of the landscape, what things look like, and the location and just kind of the environment and things. And actually, this is our first guest that brought visual aids. So this would be a great time. And I know you spent time putting it together, so I do not want to waste these visual aids. So I'll add them to the stage right now. And I think the pictures that you gave us, why can't I add it to the stage? Oh, I got to remove the map first. Duh.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, I think these pictures will depict kind of what we're looking at, and then you can tell us a little bit more about it. But go ahead. I think you have control over that, right?
I hope so. So this is one of the iconic signs coming into Muskoka. It's perched high on a granite rock. This captures typical Muskoka. All we have is rock or water, pretty much. There is some dirt, but for the most part, it's a lot of rock.
Didn't they call? I saw it somewhere. It called it like a Canadian curtain or something. I forget what it called it.
So once upon a time, it was the Great Canadian Shield. It was all under ice, all underwater. And now it's So there's 1,600 lakes in Muskoka proper.
Just in Muskoka.
Yeah. Wow. So this is my new marketing. I'm in the middle of trademarking it so that I can start to launch all my stuff. My YouTube channel is called Real Estate Road Trips. So I'm super excited to get it going. It's essentially sightseeing videos of Muskoka with real estate information sprinkled in. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness, that'll be so cool to see.
Yes, and when I'm telling all my clients about it, and they're all like, as soon as you get the channel up, I want to see the links,
Yes.
So here's some maps. There's Canada, big scope, Ontario, and then tunneling in. So this one shows Toronto, and you can see Barrie. Does my mouse work here? Is my mouse showing? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
This is my old town. That's Barrie. So that's Simcoe County. Barrie is was built to be a bedroom city to Toronto, or the GTA, we call it Greater Toronto Area. So Toronto was just down on Lake Ontario, and then it's just grown, and eventually all the outer cities, Brampton, Mississauga, North York, have all blended together. I call it all Toronto, and I get a nosebleed when I go south of there. I go down to visit our other friend, Connie. But Toronto's quite expensive in real estate. So Barrie took off because there's a highway there. This Highway 400 corridor is a 4 and 6 lane highway, and it's going to be almost 10 lanes now coming through the city of Barrie to bring everybody home at night. So they technically drive down to Toronto for work every day, and they come up to Barrie or Simcoe County for to sleep.
Do you have any toll roads in Canada?
Sorry?
Do you have any toll roads in Canada?
We have the most ridiculous toll road in Ontario.
I want to hear about this, because that matters. If you're moving somewhere, I got to get an easy pass, or I don't need an easy pass, or some places don't even have them.
Oh, it's crazy. I'm not going to get political, but it was built by the Ontario government, and it runs just north. I don't know if I can zoom in this picture. It's the 407, and it runs across the top of one of the free highways. And it was built by the government, and then it was sold to a company, I don't even know, Spain, Italy, somewhere. Another country owns our highway.
Really?
Yes.
The PA Turnpike is owned by a private company. I don't know who it is, but yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's why people just rack up charges, and they can't do anything with your credit either, I don't think. Or they might have just given them power to like take your license away. But I know for a while there, it was private and they couldn't do anything. And some people were just like, which is dumb, but because they'll catch up to it eventually. But yeah.
Right.
Ours is opposite. When they bought it, when the Ontario government owned it, it's attached to your driver's license. So you cannot renew your driver's license if you have an outstanding 407 bill. You have to pay your bill, or you won't renew your license. Now in the States, you won't renew your license. And they're sorry in the States. I apologize. The new country that owns it still has the rights. So you can default on a credit card payment or your mortgage and have little or no consequences. Well, the mortgage eventually, but you cannot pay this darn toll, and it has consequences. It's just ridiculous.
Wow.
And the cost of it is astronomical. So for that reason, I avoid it. I just boycott it. It costs more money to go across the Toronto region on this highway than it does to go through the entire state of New York on your tolls.
Oh, wow.
A typical drive from end to end is over $35, $37.
Wow.
For one way?
One way.
Wow.
Is it on top? You said on top of. Is it literally like a bridge on top of?
No, just north. Just runs north.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So the main highway is this 401 across here. And the 401 starts at the East Coast and goes all the way to the West Coast of Canada. And so it's built north of that. But anyways.
Gotcha. So if you move to the area, don't get caught up or fall for the toll road. Is there an easy pass? Do they use the same system?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Or if you don't, they'll take a snapshot of your license and they charge you $4 or $5 to process it if you don't have the e-pass. So let's go back on. Now we're going to move north. So basically I was saying I sold in Barrie, and now I've moved up to Muskoka, and I'm concentrating on my new growth in Muskoka. So we are what's known as cottage country. There's actually 4 different regions of cottage country. North of us, you can see Parry Sound District. Then sort of east of us a bit is Haliburton and the Kawarthas. So they're all very similar. Muskoka, I would probably say, is the most expensive one. Don't really know why that is, other than just, the movie stars and the hockey players, and the people that own the Bulk Barn and some of these very established families bought up here. And
there's a Billionaires Row, isn't there? That's
there
what
is. There
Justin
is. And
Bieber,
some of those
my daughter would
cottages,
love that one. They're
Oh,
up at Lake
really?
Joseph. I think if what you could tell me if what I read was correct. Lake Joseph, which is kind of like the top left, and it kind of comes out of that area that's drawn also. And then
so-
around there is the map I saw that had a bunch of faces of icons of celebrities around, like where it says Minette. Yeah, between Minette and McTeer, that lake there,
this,
I think, right?
This section up here is Lake Joe. This section is Lake Rosso. And then the largest one here is Lake Muskoka. Muskoka is probably the least expensive of them all, but they're still expensive. Millionaires Row is actually on Lake Muskoka, or what we refer to as Millionaires Row. But the hockey players, and I don't work up in Lake Joe very often. You can see it's sort of the outer area of my jurisdiction, so I'm not really versed in the top end of that lake. But that's where all the I think Goldie Hawn is there, and a bunch of hockey players.
Kurt Russell. Well, they're married, right?
Yeah,
but I think I saw they sold theirs. I got deep. I went down right before we came on. I go down this rabbit hole of who lives in Muskoka and are they still there now? Shaq.
Yeah. I live in the town of Bracebridge, which is, I'm going to zoom back out, technically pretty much in the middle.
Okay.
I don't know what my next slide is. Oh, okay. I don't know whether you want me to just keep going, Eric, or what you want to do.
Yeah, I think you said some of them were listings or whatever. That even if, I mean, you could plug your listings too. I don't care. But it would still give a representation maybe of kind of the real estate in the area and what they
Absolutely.
might expect and what they look like and stuff. Yeah.
So what I find is a lot of times consumers don't even realize where Muskoka stops and starts. And so that's one of my goals on my channel is to just educate people. And the price ranges are drastic. You can say, Connie, I have $100,000 to spend, or sorry, $800,000 to spend. I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It needs laundry. It needs to be winterized because I'm hoping it will be my retirement home eventually. And they think that they can get on one of those big lakes, Muskoka, Joe, or Russell. You got to have like 2 to 3 million to get that type of a home on the cheapest, least expensive lake, which is Muskoka. And then when you head up to Rosso, you're looking at 5 to 10 million, and over to Joe, some of them 10 and 20, depending on how huge they are. So, but you'll get on a small lake that might not have access to these big lakes. You could get on a river. There's an area called the Muskoka River, and it actually runs from the northern end of the district in Algonquin Park all the way down through Bracebridge and into the lakes. But there's waterfalls there. So you can get a property on the north branch of the Muskoka River is essentially, I want to say landlocked, but you can't take your boat out to the lake because there's 3 sets of waterfalls in the way. But property on that part of the river is less expensive than on the lowest part of the river. I actually live on the lowest section of the river, so I have a bit of a tax break, but I can literally canoe down around Devil's Elbow and get out into the lake. That's how close I am. So educating consumers as to what they can get for their money. There is something for everyone up here, though. You can buy a 2-season modular home, manufactured home, or mobile home in a seasonal park, and you can pick that up for 80 to 90,000, maybe 200 grand for a higher end quality one. You can buy a smaller property half an hour north of Muskoka, and you'll save $200,000-$300,000 just if you're willing to drive 20 minutes further north. So there's just so many varying degrees of prices in Muskoka. This one, for example, It's one of my listings for $600,000. You can buy this, and it's north of Muskoka, and it is a beautiful lot. It's very level, and it goes out to this lovely Bear Lake. It's one of the nice things about it is that it's level. A lot of the lower priced properties are that way because they're sort of up on a cliff and they got to get down through 10 sets of stairs to get down to the water. This one, you could literally launch your own boat. You can drive it right out your driveway and out into the boat or into the lake. So
got to get one of those cars, the amphibious vehicles.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think they all suck at either. They're not good at either one of the things.
Yeah.
Well, we had one in Pittsburgh that was like a touristy thing and it sunk. So here was not good at water.
It had a flat tire that let water in, did it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I just remember it closed.
So that one's a lower priced one. It is available. It's able to be 3-season, but they had a problem with the winterized water line, and I can now only advertise it as, it was 4-season, but the winterized water line gave up the ghost and he hasn't replaced it. So it's now only 3-season, but a quick fix and you could stay there year round. This is in, sorry, go ahead.
Can I ask one question? So is it normal when you do like your advertising in different houses for there to be different season room? Like this one you can use 2 seasons, this one you can use 3 seasons. So that's something that is like a criteria when you're looking there.
Yes, although we don't have a field in our database that's searchable for that.
Yeah.
You have to tunnel into each listing and really dig, aside from if they're a seasonal road. So some of them are clearly seasonal because there's a field you can search for year-round road or seasonal road. So although the cottage might be winterized and you can get there by snowmobile, the roads are likely not plowed. In some of these rural areas, the roads may not be plowed for you to actually drive there.
Oh, wow. That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Are these lakes freezing?
Sorry?
Like, does that there freeze?
This would, and they would ice fish in this lake in the winter. And another thing too is a lot of the less expensive properties are out on the islands. So you must boat to them. So when you buy a cottage, you got to buy a boat. And then you got to pay docking fees to dock your boat on the mainland, come and park and get on that boat and go out to the lake house from there. So,
but in the winter you could walk.
Sometimes.
Through the snow.
Last winter, yes, we had a brutal winter. Although actually we had a lot of snow really early last year, and it blanketed the ground. So a lot of the lakes didn't freeze solid because there was so much snow insulation, and that seems silly, but the snow insulation from the kept the ice from really freezing hard to be safe.
That's like the opposite of what I would think.
Maybe I'll take a meteorologist course one time and be able to answer the why, but that's how
it's so interesting though. I mean, it's just things you deal with that I don't even think about that, you know?
Yeah. This is all the more reason to use a local realtor when you come up here.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you get these Toronto agents, and I don't mean to be negative, but they think they're coming up here. They see a $2 million cottage price tag, and they think they're doing their client justice by coming up and trying to represent them. And if they don't know the area, they're not doing that client any favors.
Absolutely. I think that happens in a lot of lake communities. A couple weeks ago, we interviewed Heather from Indianapolis, and we were talking about Heritage Lake and how just price points can vary and lake access can vary. It's so important to use a local agent that knows, everything and all of those different things for each listing.
Yep. And even things like the type of boat that you want. So this particular section is shallow. So you're not going to get a really deep hull boat come close. Otherwise, you're going to build your dock way out there to get into the deeper land. My property, I'm on the north side of the river. And the way the current flows, I have about 30 feet of knee-deep beach. Not beach, it's like sandbar. We put a volleyball net up and we play volleyball in the water because it's only knee-deep. And then once you hit 32 or 33 feet, it drops right down into the channel. So we can put our boat at the end of the dock and it doesn't run into problems. So it just depends whether you want grandkids to have a place to swim or if you want to have a nice big boat.
Right.
It is to which side. And it's the other side of the river, which is maybe 300 feet across the way. They don't have any sand. There's drops straight off. So they can have bigger boats than what we can have. So
Yeah.
there's so many variables.
So important to talk to someone who knows what they're talking about.
Yep. So this one's 600,000. Oops, I'm on the wrong screen. This one is a newer townhouse. I actually just sold it. It's right in Bracebridge, and it's a freehold townhouse, and that's its backyard. It's looking out at the lake, at the river. This is a section of the river just up from me. So it's on the south branch of Muskoka, no waterfalls between it and the lake. That's where.
Which means you can get you keep pointing that out. There's no waterfall. I didn't pick that up the first time you said that. So yeah. Or a dam. Would you have dams also?
Yep.
Or no dam? Yeah.
Well, it's usually a dam and then the waterfall below it.
Right. Yep.
The
so waterfall is the dam.
719.
And does it come with like a slip right there for your boat, like the townhouse?
Yep.
That's neat.
That comes to another topic. This one does. That's its boat slip, its finger dock is what it's called. It can only be 3 feet wide. You can see a little bit of the neighbor's boat tied to it. We share it between the two townhouses.
Oh, okay.
So the empty spot will be the new buyers, and then there's a little bit of his boat, the neighbor's boat there.
Okay.
Brings me to another thing is when you're in waterfront property, there's things called shore road allowances. And I don't know if you guys have those up there. The Crown often keeps ownership of the actual waterfront. So basically the town of Bracebridge is in charge of the land where the house and you pay the tax. And in this case, they actually bought from the developer a small boardwalk that runs along the edge of this river. And they own the shore road allowance. And then, so you can't, they granted in the building development permit, they granted the developer to put these docks in for the exclusive use of the adjacent owners. But the docks are technically floating in government water. That you don't own the water.
That makes sense. Here it's called like riparian right. Now I'm going back to the course days, riparian rights, or even easements and like rights of way and that kind of things like utilities have.
You're right. It's called riparian rights. Exactly. So in my case, my shoreline moves because I own to the water's edge. My measurement is from the road out to the water's edge. So when the water's low, I have more land. When the water's high, I have less land. And in seasons, it can vary 20 feet.
Wow.
Does that affect appraisal values? Or not really?
Usually it does. If you own the shore road allowance, it's worth more than if the government owns it.
Okay.
So you kind of want to get a shore road allowance if you can, because you're not restricted as to what you can do.
Okay.
Yeah. Whether or not you have a moving, floating shoreline, I don't believe that. An appraiser might tell you it has a difference in value, but honestly, from a buyer's perspective, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
From what I see. This is a cool one. This is one of my newest listings, and it's on McLean Bay on Sparrow Lake, which is in the south end. It's not part of the big Muskoka Lakes, but it's part of the Trent Severn Waterway. So the Trent Severn Waterway is a a channel or a pass of, I don't even know what it is. It's a waterway. No, you can go through locks and lifts all the way from the St. Lawrence down in on the border of Canada and the United States. You can come up through Ontario, up through Lake Ontario, up through the Trent Canal, and all the way out to Georgian Bay. I have to go back to another map, but basically beautiful boating. And you would take your boat with your sleeper and your cuddy and go out and anchor and go out for dinner in these different towns. And you could travel all the way across Ontario on this Trent Severn waterway. So
you could get to the Great Lakes.
Yep. It connects the Great Lakes
to the full ocean, right?
It connects.
You could get to the Atlantic Ocean from the Great Lakes then.
I guess
right?
Technically, yes. Actually, you know what? I have a friend who took a boat from Florida up to New York and then came up that way. So I would say yes. I'm not that avid of a boater to speak intelligently about it, but it essentially connects the Great Lakes to Georgian Bay, which is part of Huron.
Oh.
So, and you can get there by boat. So you can buy this waterfront. I don't have a picture of the house. I forgot to drop it in there, but it's actually kind of nice because the traffic flows where I've written the word Trent Severn Waterway, and we're in McLean Bay, which is still part of the lake, but it's just kind of quiet little bay, and nobody's over there. Not a lot of boat traffic, so it's lovely for that reason.
What's the price point on that?
That one's 1.8.
Okay.
Yeah. This one is also it's one of my listings. I've had it a little while. It's 2.8 million. It is north. It's north of Huntsville, another half an hour north of Muskoka. So I just did a funny Facebook post on 30 minutes will save you $1 million. Because if I took this property and I moved it just down to Huntsville on the lakes that are there, it would be worth $4 million, not the 2.8 we're asking. If I moved it to Muskoka, my lake, $5 million. And then Rosso and Lake Joe, upwards of 20. It's 34 acres. It has almost 1,800 feet of shoreline. This is the main house, which is 3,600 square feet of a bungalow. And then there's a full walkout basement, and it comes out to the shuffleboard court. This whole addition is a triple car garage, and in behind these windows is an in-ground indoor 18 by 36 swimming pool. And then in the backside, there's an indoor racquetball court. Derek, this property is for you.
I thought you were going to say an indoor 18-hole miniature golf course.
You could have it. There's 34 acres. You cut a few trees and you could do that.
Absolutely.
There's a tennis court, basketball net, hot tub room, gym, shower house. Like it's a resort. And so you could save yourself $1 million if you drove 20 minutes north.
Nice.
That's one of our waterfalls. And you can't really see, but in behind this section is the dam.
Yeah. So you definitely can't go down that in a boat. So you were saying about waterfalls being in between you and the place you want to go matters, and you need to check that out.
I wouldn't even whitewater raft on that. It's like straight downhill. Not as bad as Niagara Falls.
Sounds like a dare to me, but
yeah. Do people go over them at all? On purpose?
Not that I've seen, and thankfully I haven't heard of any, sad situations where they've done that. Not that I've seen. No.
It looks so pretty.
Yeah.
They are. These are some of the ones that are out on the lake. This is Lake Muskoka as well. These are little boat houses on the water's edge. And then
they're so cute.
And then these gorgeous homes above. These would be between $5 and $6 million to buy one of these. This is a beautiful resort, and these are timeshare, not timeshare, fractional ownership. So you can either buy like a 1/13 membership And I think you get like 8 weeks one year, and then every third year you get 9 weeks, something like that. They just divide the weeks by the number of owners. Some of them are like a condo hotel style, not in this particular complex, but some of them are a condo hotel where if you own all 52 weeks, you must put it in the rental pool for half of those weeks or something.
Oh.
So if you really just want a vacation house to come up part-time and don't want all the maintenance and whatnot, this is maybe an affordable option to be in Muskoka. This is a cell phone tower disguised as a pine tree.
I love it.
And we see them literally on the tops of all these cliffs when you go around. It's kind of cool. This is a top of what's called Huckleberry Rock, which is one of the highest rocks, and you overlook some of the lakes in Muskoka. It's just a beautiful place to go for watching the sunset. Oh, and that's it. So this is my last slide. This is my favorite section of one of the highways that goes through Muskoka. It's literally carved out of the rock. And
I love it.
I pull over the side of the road and I'm mesmerized. And this was a sunset that I captured one day when I was there.
We've got a lot of that in Pennsylvania. They just blast the rocks straight through mountains, tunnels through mountains. There's a lot of the rock climbing places actually are railroad blasts of just cliff sides that are not actual cliff sides, and they kind of suck actually. But yeah, we've got some of that too here in Pennsylvania. So, Krista, I know you had an out, so if you have to jump off, that's fine. But if you can hang out, that's fine too.
I'm so intrigued by this, and I think that rock and just the nature there is just so beautiful.
It's breathtaking.
Yeah.
You know why people just fall in love with it.
So obviously there's tons of outdoor stuff, which we've talked about. You can go fishing, the boating, the hiking, all that kind of outdoor stuff. What else? Is there anything that people might not know or think about that there would be to do there, or any unique things, or like weird food things, or any isms, anything unique kind of about the area that people might not learn till they get there, and people might forget to tell people about or something?
We have 3 little towns in the district. I'm in the middle one, Bracebridge, and there's Huntsville and there's Gravenhurst. Those are the 3 biggest ones. So you're shopping and your groceries, and you can get ethnic food in some of these towns. For the longest time, you couldn't. So you get people from Toronto, they come up and they're like, I just want good Thai food. Where can I get Thai food? But we're just like a little cottage town. You're not going to get that. So there's maybe a little bit of limitation there, but people don't come here to go out for dinner. They come to hang out at the cottage and fish and boat and whatnot. Although I can go out to one of my favorite restaurants. I can get there faster by boat than I can by getting in the car and driving around the lake and going to it. So it's kind of neat to be able to get in your boat and go out for dinner. So that's kind of cool too. But it's just a real laid back lifestyle.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I've never researched it before, but it seems to be I think I saw the Hamptons for Toronto is kind of what it was referred to. So it's kind of, that's why it's probably so high priced, is because there's lakes all over the place, all over the country and world, but these lakes happen to be close to Toronto and lots of bustling and lots of money. So it's kind of akin to the Hamptons for New York, I guess, right? I don't even know where the Hamptons are close to.
That's quite, it's like the little.
So it's known for cottage life and high-end downtowns and just kind of luxury living and getaway place. And so celebrities can be seen, I would guess. There's lots of little downtowns, right? It's not all those little towns you were naming have their own little downtowns, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then the lakes are big enough they fly in on their float planes, which is kind of cool. I wish I had a video of that to see them come in on their float planes. It just in 20 minutes you're up at your cottage versus a 3-hour bumper to bumper car ride on a Friday of a long weekend or something. So kind of it's just a different lifestyle. But
yeah. And then if you wanted to see concerts or see sporting stuff or fly somewhere or whatever, obviously you're just driving a couple hours down to Toronto, and that's where you would go to get all that kind of stuff, right?
Yep. So I'm 2 hours from the Pearson Airport, which is our biggest international airport. So when I come to my place in Florida, I just fly out of there. It's just under 2 hours without traffic. So it's not that bad. We have 2 good main highways that come up this way, so that's why it's easier to get to. I think it's also similar to your Ozarks.
Sure. Yeah. Not that I know much about the Ozarks, but
nothing,
other than the show.
Yeah, I know the show inside and out. The actual real Ozarks, I know nothing.
Yeah. I just I know the show as well, but you don't have the gambling ferry boats here that go out to gamble. Although we do have casinos because they are legal here. None. There's actually no casino in Muskoka. There's one in Simcoe County, just south of us. Anyways.
So what about food? Go ahead, Krista.
I was just going to say, those athletes and people like that live there, are they living there year round, or are they just seasonal?
Usually seasonal.
Okay.
Yeah. They're busy in their training days and whatnot. Like they're gonna. Everybody except the Oilers is done work for the season, so they would be up here now. Not to say that the Oilers are even in Ontario, but they all over. But you get my drift.
Yes.
And then so they would just be seasonal up here probably.
Okay.
Makes sense. Come up to see the leaves turn and fall. It's probably the bomb for that, I would think. And other times too. Winter, I think, would be super cool up there, actually, with all the frozen lakes and horseshoeing and snowmobiling and all that kind of stuff.
Yep. We have the best of all seasons. We do. You got to learn to like snow when you're up here. We have a few smaller ski hills.
Yeah.
You learn how to snow or to ski, and you snowmobile. Although some of the Southern Ontario stuff, they haven't had a lot of snow to be able to snowmobile in the past years. But up here we do, and ice fish if that works. If you're into ice fishing out on a hut on a frozen lake. But
so, are there any like weird or favorite foods or drinks or anything that the area like is known for?
Or Canada in general, I was gonna say, like if there's something that we in the States don't have down here or something.
Yeah, no, we're not close enough to Quebec to be poutine friendly. That's a Quebec thing, for that type of food. But no, we have a bunch of microbreweries, which are kind of neat. They pop up. It's kind of cool. You can go by boat, although they have to have a sober captain, and go by boat and go up to these little breweries and see. We have. They've coined the room the name a Muskoka room, which is in Florida it would be called a lanai. It's a screened-in building, like room attached to your home that might not be under the heating and central air conditioning elements of the house. It's like an extra bonus room. They call that a Muskoka room. Up here.
That's cool.
And we have Muskoka chairs, which are exactly the same as an Adirondack chair.
You just put the word in there.
But they call it a Muskoka chair. That's probably. There's no
Vegemite. Where's Vegemite?
Isn't that Australia?
Is that like Ireland or Australia or I don't even know.
A Vegemite sandwich. Yeah, it's Australia because then it's you come from the land down under. Yeah.
You have a better memory than I do, Krista. If it's not country, I don't know it.
I don't know like where I was yesterday or what day it is, but I can remember the words to every song I heard when I was 5.
You'd be good at that don't forget the lyric show where you have to finish the lyrics.
Yes.
I don't know if that's still on. I haven't seen that for a while.
I don't know. I stream everything now.
All right. Before we say goodbye, and we can learn more about this place. I feel like there's a lot more to uncover, but we got to go. But before we go, another question that doesn't really have to do with Muskoka, but does have to do with you if you could do anything else other than real estate as a profession, what would you do? And you can't say you love it and I'd still do this. Or also I meant to change it, huh, Krista? I was going to change it to when you were a kid, what did you want to be? So that might be a little bit more interesting.
I was just going to say, I would have to roll back the clock 40 years and I would actually be a lawyer.
Oh, wow.
To fight something in particular?
I missed my calling. Actually, I applied to law school and it was during a strike and they didn't get my application. When I followed up to say what's happening with the application, they never received it because of the office strike. So I ended up getting a good job and I just decided not to go. So
do you regret it? Or do you think like, okay, that was fate. This is what's meant to be?
I mean, you have no choice. You might as well say it was meant to be, because that's why people say that, because like I might as well believe that because I can't change it. So I might as well be happy with the way things are. But I've got regrets for sure. All that, like things are the way, forget that. It could be better. There are turns I could have made that could have made this better. But go ahead and answer the question. Sorry.
That's okay. I think I regret it. But in all honesty, God put you where you're meant to be. And right. I have a bit of an aggressive personality and I'm like a dog with a bone. So I pity the guy that would be on the other side of the bench as I'm negotiating or as I'm arguing in court, challenging him. So it's probably best for my personality that I opted to not do that.
Best for the other people.
Yeah. Well, you still get
Sometimes
to do it in real
estate.
estate.
In my way, you're going to regret it.
Yes, yes.
I love the industry. I've been in it 22 years. And when I got my license, I'd never sold a thing. And everybody said, I was tired of working for corporations and making them rich. Worked tons of time, always in salaried positions. And I finally said, I need to find a job that I can work extra hard at and work all this extra time because I'm a bit of a workaholic. And I'm the one that's paying me, not my boss.
Right.
And then I thought long and hard, and everybody said, you should get into sales. And I thought, I'm not a salesperson. I'm a facilitator. I bring people to property, and I'm a negotiator, and I'm a marketer, but I am not a salesperson.
I know.
And so much so when I got my real estate license in Canada, we had to be called, it wasn't realtor. That wasn't legal. You didn't say that. We didn't have that trademarked under our industry. So you had to say you were a salesperson. And I immediately went to continuing education and became a broker because I did not want to have the name salesperson behind my name.
I love that.
Because I think we're really not. I mean, there's the odd one that sells a house like a used car.
Right.
I'm sorry I don't mean to diss that industry, but we're problem solvers. We are what
absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. No doubt about it. And you do get to use your negotiating skills. And if anybody wants Connie's hard negotiating skills to get you the best deal or get you the most money for your house, selling your home, then tell them where they can find you, Connie.
So, Housegal thing going on. My email address is connie@housegal.ca, CA being the Canadian version of the websites. And my website is just www.housegal.ca.
Love it.
And what's the best way? Text you, call you, email, carrier pigeon? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Sweet. And she's on all the socials too. If you want to find her on socials and give her some love, follow her, subscribe. Oh, the new YouTube channel. Is there a name for the new YouTube channel? Is that out there?
It is not launched yet. So it's invisible to everybody yet.
All right. But, we'll have you on again and you can let us know about it.
Krista, I know we are over time, but we talked about that book, The Them Theory.
Yes.
The one chapter on being afraid of what other people think. That was an eye opener for me.
All right. I'm on like chapter 6, and some days I'm really good at it and some days I suck at it. So I just got to keep trying.
I listen to them on audio in my truck.
That's what I do. I do everything on Audible because we spend half our time in the car, you know? So yes, I love it. So yeah, I need to rotate that one. My problem is I listen to like 4 at a time. So I'm always like bebopping around.
Well, that
I
would
get
drive me
so
nuts.
excited when someone says one, I buy it and I want to start it right away.
I think that's a little ADHD that we have in all of us.
Yeah. Luckily, most books are only like 3 to 4 hours long usually. I usually power through that in a day.
Yeah.
But then half of it you don't hear, so then you got to listen to it 50
multiple
times to actually
times.
get it. Yeah, totally. All right. Well, we gave you where to find Connie. And if you need to find Krista or myself, me in Carlisle and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and Krista over to the west in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, you can reach out to us however you want to reach out to us. Or if you need somebody in any area of the country or the world, really, evidenced by Canada. And we know people all over the place. So if you need an agent or just a tour guide somewhere, agents are great tour guides, always know the best things. Reach out to us and we can connect you with somebody. Thanks for watching and listening, everybody. And say goodbye, ladies.
Bye.
Bye, ladies.